ज्योति स्टेनो टाइपिंग कॉलेज में आप सभी का स्वागत है बच्चों। कैसे हैं आप सभी? उम्मीद करता हूँ अच्छे होंगे। ये इंग्लिश 80 WPM डिक्टेशन क्लास है बच्चों। ये CRPF के लिए और SSC के लिए बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट डिक्टेशन है और जो है इससे आसानी डिक्टेशन आपको वहाँ मिलेगी। इसमें आप जो है जो हमारी वेबसाइट है ये टाइपिंग सॉफ्टवेयर है असल में, ट्रांसक्रिप्शन सॉफ्टवेयर। इस पर आप एडमिशन फॉर गवर्नमेंट जॉब ओनली पे बटन पर क्लिक करोगे तो यहाँ अपना रजिस्ट्रेशन करके स्टेनो कोर्स में जाकर के इंग्लिश स्टेनो बेसिक टू गवर्नमेंट जॉब के नाम से कोर्स होगा, उस पर क्लिक करोगे तो एक मंथली पैकेज है, एक ईयरली है। मंथली वाला ले लो और जो है उसको जब आप परचेज़ कर लोगे तो माई कोर्सेज के अंदर जो है आपको बहुत सारी डिक्टेशन मिल जाएंगी, जनरल डिक्टेशन मिल जाएंगी, ऐसे KC डिक्टेशन मिल जाएंगी और जैसे अब जो नई जो डिक्टेशन है 20 जो हो गई हैं ये भी आपको उसमें मिल जाएंगी। इंग्लिश न्यू डिक्टेशन 80 WPM। तो इसको आप वहाँ से जाकर के जैसे मतलब जो बोली हुई होती है वहाँ जाकर टाइप करोगे तो आपकी एक्यूरेसी ये दिखा देगा। इसमें टोटल वर्ड है 820, ये मैं पढ़ने जा रहा हूँ। डिक्टेशन स्टार्ट आफ्टर 5 सेकेंड। India is rich in various biogeographical provinces ranging from the cold deserts of Ladakh and Spiti to the hot deserts of Thar, temperate forests in the Himalayas to the lush green tropical rainforests of the lowlands. India has also large freshwater bodies such as Vular and Mansbal lakes in Kashmir, Chilka Lake in Orissa and Kolru Lake in Andhra Pradesh, and the rugged and rich coastline and coral reefs of Deccan. Protected areas or ecological biographical areas where wildlife is conserved, their habitats and natural resources are conserved and poaching is prevented. They are delimited to protect biological diversity. They are cold desert Ladakh and Spiti, hot desert Thar, Westland Assam and NE states, saline swampy areas, Sundarbans, Run of Kutch, mangroves, temperate forests, subtropical forests, tropical forests, tropical wet evergreen forests, tropical moist deciduous forest, tropical deciduous forest, tropical thorn, coral reef, etc. Protected areas include national parks, sanctuaries and biosphere reserves. They are strictly reserved areas meant for the betterment of the wildlife. They are reserved for improvement of wildlife. In them, cultivation, grazing, forestry operation and habitat manipulation is prohibited. In them, protection is given only to the fauna animals and harvesting of timber, collection of MFP and private ownership rights are permitted, but interference with the well-being of animals is not allowed. Here, wild animals can take refuge without being hunted. Here, collection of forest products, harvesting of timber, private ownership of land, tilling of land, etc. are allowed. Sanctuary is declared by the state government under Section 18(1) of Wildlife Protection Act 1972, whereas National Park is declared under Section 35(1) of the Act. In sanctuary the boundary is demarcated at the time of declaration. In national park, boundary is well defined and accurate. Man and Biosphere Program MAB of the UNESCO evolved the concept of biosphere reserves. In biosphere reserve, multiple land use is permitted, designated various zones. Core zone in which human activity is not permitted. All forestry and harvesting operations are prohibited and even entry is restricted. Only population studies and scientific investigations are allowed. Buffer zone in which limited human activity is permitted. Here, no shooting is allowed, but no professional graziers are allowed to establish cattle pens. Camping for tourists are allowed, but no professional graziers are allowed to establish cattle pens. Camping for tourists are allowed. Manipulation zone in which large number of human activities is allowed, but ecology is not permitted to be disturbed. In a biosphere reserve, wild population, traditional, tribals and varied domesticated plant and animal genetic resources are protected. India has identified 14 areas as biosphere reserves. Nilgiri biosphere reserves include parts of Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu. It was declared in 1986. Restoration zone is a degraded area for restoration to near natural form. An enclosed park where wild animals are kept uncaged in the open, providing natural habitat for viewing to the public. An area set aside for exhibiting the wild animals kept in cages and artificial enclosures. Here, animals' freedom is restricted. A place where a large number of mammals, birds, reptiles, fishes, etc. are shown in a confined area in or near a city. Animals are usually kept in small enclosures or in cages. It is used for recreation and education of the public. It is a zoo where animals are comparatively free and are shown in the natural surrounding which with barriers and restrictions hidden from view. It is best located on the outskirts of cities where enough land is available. It is a sanctuary within the sanctuary or inner portion of a wild sanctuary or national park in which no forest operation or management is allowed. Even visitors are not allowed to prevent any kind of disturbance to wildlife. The management of human use of the biosphere so that it may yield the greatest sustainable benefit to present generation and to maintain its potential to meet the needs and aspirations of future generations is called the conservation. It is scientific management of wildlife to maintain it at its optimum level. The conservation of wildlife is directly related to healthy and better forests. Wildlife conservation includes protection, preservation and perpetuation of rare species of plants and animals in their natural habitats. To maintain essential ecological process and life supporting systems, to preserve diversity of species, sustainable utilization of species and ecosystems which support rural communities and major industries. For wildlife conservation and its propagation, proper management techniques should be employed. Sanctuaries, national parks, biosphere reserves, projects, etc. have been created for exclusively protecting the wild flora and fauna in India as well as in other countries of the world. Scientists of 100 countries of the world have evolved comprehensive world conservation strategies for the judicious use of resources. Efforts should be made to preserve the endangered species that are sole representative of their family or genus should receive special attention. Endangered species should be given priority over a vulnerable species over a rare one, and a rare species over other categories. वेबसाइट पे इसको लगा दिया गया है बच्चों। इस डिक्टेशन को पहले आप अच्छे से पढ़िए और फिर इसको जैसे टाइप कर दीजिए। ये स्पीड जो है लगभग 82 के आसपास रही, और जो है वेबसाइट सॉफ्टवेयर मैंने बता दिया, इस सॉफ्टवेयर पर जाकर इसको आप टाइप भी कर सकते हैं और अपनी एक्यूरेसी को जान सकते हैं। इस क्लास के अंदर इतना बच्चों। नमस्कार बच्चों।